tied him up. He came back in there to put him away.
5 strikeouts for Jung to this point. Actually 8 strikeouts for Jung at this point. And it was his home run in the 5th that gave Korea the lead. Well, it doesn't seem like you're slowing down, does it?
I think they've made a few adjustments like Cal was talking about. Both the balls that were hit, these two guys' last at bats were balls out over the plate, and they seem to make an effort right here. They want to tie up these big kids and see what they can do with the inside fastball.
Levenson spun out of the way.
They certainly have a game plan there. Again, a lot of times the power now, especially with aluminum bats, is out over the plate. And if a pitcher can effectively move the ball in and then move it back away, it gives the hitters a little bit more fits. They are coming in.
That's Joe Levenson's dad, by the way. That's Andy Levenson, who cringed this morning when his son was hit in the right wrist with a pitch. But not only is he still in this championship game this afternoon, he's even pitched 3 1/3 innings. Jung with the 1-2.
Spoiled a good breaking ball right there.
That's guarding the plate right there. And effectively pitching in sometimes makes that curveball that much better too, because you have to respect the velocity and the fastball in, and sometimes you have a tendency to cheat a little bit, and that makes the breaking ball that much better.
Like that.
Yep, there's that breaking ball. Levenson turned around as if to say, man, were you impressed by that too?
He had his one fastball to hit and fouled it off, and then they went back away from him throwing the breaking ball. That's a pretty good breaking ball right there. He just couldn't hold up.
They certainly made an impression on the inside fastball. And again, you get a little jumpy and you cheat a little bit, and you can't hold up on that breaking ball. That's just baseball.
2 down in the inning on a couple of strikeouts. Young Jung, 3 innings on Friday, 3 yesterday. He is looking to go through a full 5 this afternoon in the game that means the most.
Here we go, Tyler. Here we go, Tyler. Come on, Tyler. Working hard, Tyler.
They're definitely trying to come in on these big kids, these 2, 3, 4 hitters. Seems to be tying them up right now.
Rob Oliver, Tyler's dad. Lexington just about a 3-hour drive away from here. Seoul, Korea, 16 hours through the air. So
and a little bit longer to drive. Wouldn't quite make that drive, I don't think.
Fastball hums inside, 2-1.
It's amazing.
On the monitor, that looked pretty close.
Yeah.
How'd it look from there?
It looked good. It amazes me the precision this kid has. When they move in, he throws it in. He moves away, he gets it away. They're just constantly coming in on
There
it.
It is.
Count goes to 2-2. You saw it at 67 miles an hour. That's from 46 feet away.
It's firm. They look like they have a plan. They want to come after inside on these guys. He thought it looked good. He tried to hold up, just couldn't do it.
Josh, how fast did you say that was?
We had it at 67 on the gun here.
I was there on Monday, and I was trying to figure out my my math skills, and I was sitting up in the booth trying to figure out what the reaction time would be at our distance.
That ball travels just inside the bag at third, and big Tyler Oliver into second base. He has got a 2-out double.
He tried the same thing right there that he did to the hitter before, and just didn't get his breaking ball away enough. Left it out over the plate. Big man had a good swing on it, hit hard down the third baseline for a double.
And Cal, you're right, 67 miles an hour from 46 away. I didn't major in math myself, but I mean, if you prorate it out, that's got to be about like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, right?
Well, I would imagine. I think my formula, I was trying to figure out because because Big Aaron from Oakland, I think, was throwing 79 miles an hour, and I was curious to figure out what that would be. That almost seems unfair at that distance, and it probably zooms up to about 103 maybe, or 104 from our distance, and I don't think we have anybody in the big leagues that throws 103 or 104 now. But probably the average fastball is probably around 90, 91, 92, and many guys throw 95. So I would imagine the speed, if you get up around 95, you're talking about someone with an extreme fastball at that distance, at 46 feet.
Next year, as you see, we will get a more accurate read.
Oh, we got him.
It did. Langfels is hit.
That's the danger when you try to go inside. If you miss inside, you hit someone.
Right here, I see where it is.
In the second to last inning of the championship game, Langfels, you talked about his versatility, Billy, and taking one for the team right there. It'll be 2 on, 2 out.
You run.
You hear the coach. Here's the pitch right here. Heater in, trying to go in again.
See that?
That's pretty much all elbow right there.
Back in.
Well, sometimes we have a saying that there's good spots to be hit and there's bad spots to be hit. If you get hit on that elbow, sometimes that presents a problem. That's one of the bad spots. If you get hit on the big part of the arm, maybe your tricep or even in your back, you have a lot of muscle that can help protect.
Larry Langfels, the father of the young man hit by the pitch, and Daniel Polley is going to come on to pinch run. He will be the go-ahead man now with 2 out. 5th inning. This is the inning in which South Lexington was able to pull away in this morning's semifinal, and they did it with some 2-out thunder. Chad Kruger will look to provide that thunder. And he does it. Right field.
It's here.
They're telling him.
Oh, they tried to get him. Oh, here comes a play.
In there, head first safely to tie it.
Oh.
A moment's hesitation.
This happened in the tournament before where Korea plays so shallow in right field that they've actually gotten some outs at first base. But they seem to forget about that runner on second base that had a chance to score on that one.
Yeah, Hyung threw out a Canadian hitter at first last night on a single. This time,
solid base hit to right field, and he's coming up trying to get that out. Just a little bit late. And the first baseman looking at the umpire for the call.
Here's a great slide.
Oof. It was not the perfect landing right there.
And the pinch runner, Polley, now is the go-ahead man at third.
If you're the person sliding in a home run, if you're safe, that was a good slide.
It's a good slide.
Now the runner taking off from first to second, and we saw that a lot in the first inning. Chad Kruger, the big guy, with his second steal of the afternoon. That's the catcher running down there.
Well, we said this was going to be a big inning. This might have been the best opportunity to score runs with the meat of your order coming up. But I didn't expect it to be a 2-out rally.
Oh, and remember, Tyler Polley, we talked about him a little bit before. Kind of down on his luck. Had struck out 5 straight times. Got the pick-me-up call from his uncle. Said to hang in there, and he's had a great game.
Oh, it's a good swing right there.
Isn't it amazing when you come back and you score a run, how the whole body language and your aggressiveness and your confidence automatically changes. They seem to see more hope, and all of a sudden now they go up there with more of a mission. When you're down, you feel a little bit of sad and you feel a little bit desperate, but right now they feel confident.
68-mile-an-hour fastball down too low, and that's Tyler Polley's dad. That's Bobby Polley, who's made the trip in from Lexington.
Chance right here. Be a big hero.
Stroked back this way out of play, 2-2. And watch the senior, Mr. Polley, react.
Ooh.
Tyler Polley, the lightest of all the players on the team, barely 100 pounds. Leans away from that one.
I'm sure it's more agonizing for the parents that are watching the game than for the kids that are playing it.
Who's on deck, Thomas? Who's on deck?
He's even getting support from the other parents behind him. He can do it. He can do it.
It gets away. And here comes a run from third. Polley, the pinch runner, scores.
They're trying another one.
Ball gets away. Play at the plate. Safe there, too.
He is.
And now scampering down to second. Look at them go, Tyler Polley. And of all things, it's a walk and a wild pitch that vaults the U.S. into the lead with 3 outs left to get.
All that happened too quick for me.
Check it out. There's the walk, the wild pitch.
Errant throw. The guy on third had his head up, always knowing where the baseball was. Close play at the plate. He makes it.
Oh, Michael, stay sit here. Got a big run out there.
I'm jealous of you guys. You get to take it all in there.
That's kind of what it's all about right here.
We do a good job on TV presenting the game, but there's nothing like being there and being a part of that excitement.
And there was some serious jumping around right behind that dugout on the South Lexington side. We'll get a pinch hitter now, Michael Ciampa. A guy that's got a little Billy Ripken in him, by the way. He was asked his favorite book, and he responded, "Are you for real?"
All right, that's true. He's wearing 3 too. I got to wear that every now and then.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, Cal helped make Baltimore the city that reads. We'll get the brochure out to Michael Ciampa. 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, a scheduled 6-inning championship game.
You know, the other side of the excitement is the sadness a little bit when you're the team that, in this particular case, it's the Korean team. And the Korean team really handles themselves very well. They almost seem like a professional team when you watch it. The expression doesn't change. They don't get too high when things are going well. They don't get too low when things aren't. They've handled themselves beautifully, but you can see in the expression in their faces that they're a little bit disappointed right now.
Now, Jung, who again pitched 3 innings yesterday, 2 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts, and was revving up towards 10 strikeouts today, but he won't complete it. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return. U.S. going in front now with a 3-run bottom of the 5th inning, and the shades of what they did this morning, a 3-run 5th inning to steal a spot in this final game. And the call to the bullpen, they go and they get Hyun She. He came on the pitch in the 4th inning last night. And a pinch runner enters action as well for the U.S. entry, Drew Carpenter, who tells us he's a big fan of Ichiro. Let's see if he can run a little bit like him. He represents some insurance. And at the plate, we mentioned, it is going to be Michael Ciampa, the pinch hitting for Thomas Royce.
All this runs were scored with 2 outs, too. Got the first 2 outs quick, and sometimes that 3rd out's the hardest one to get. Right now, it's proven to be.
First 2 outs, indeed, were strikeouts, the 8th and 9th of the game for Jung. Ciampa trying to check. He could not. His mom, Tina, watching on. After the 2 strikeouts, guys, the double, the hit batsman, the single to score a run, then the walk/wild pitch to drive in 2.
I think probably the hit by pitch might have been the ultimate turning point. The double was a good at bat, and he battled very difficult and hit a good low breaking ball for a hit. But it seemed like when the hit by pitch put the runners in scoring position, put the guys on base, and maybe affected the ability to pitch inside after that. And when you throw the ball out over the plate a little bit more, there's a better chance to get it hit.
We'll go to the winner of the split the pot. We'll give it to you after this batter.
It certainly seemed like that hit by pitch was a turning point in that inning.
It also could have affected the pitcher.
Little pop-up.
A little bit. It's a nice solid play right there to end the inning.
Choi takes care of it, but now 3 outs to go before the United States team is able to claim the Cal Ripken World Series title.
When you call Compact Direct, you'll get a PC built exactly the way you want it. Like the Compact Presario 5000T, starting at just $839. Choose a fast Intel Pentium 3 processor, hard drive, memory, monitor, options like a CDRW drive, and even your choice of colors. Call 1-800-276-2360 today and get a free compact printer and $50 instant rebate.
Creole Lane's a place for good times and family fun. Bowling for all ages from the beginner to the most advanced player. Cyber bowling on Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. And karaoke on Thursdays and Fridays. Or how about a game of pool? Or a little excitement in our fun and challenging game room. And a lounge for the 21 and over crowd. Bring the family and head to Creole Lane's where the good times roll. Old Wheatland Road, Vincennes.
Tired of that frozen out-of-the-box pizza? Then come home to Termilio's Pizza and Pasta, offering a complete menu of all your Italian favorites. Pizza, calzones, pastas, fettuccine, and don't forget to try some of our special gourmet pizza. We also carry a large selection of domestic and imported beers and wines. That's Termilio's Pizza and Pasta, a unique pizza experience. Open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. Termilio's, 1427 North 6th Street in Vincennes.
Watching Fox Sports Net.
Into the 6th inning, which is the final scheduled inning of this championship game, the Cal Ripken World Series. Last year, the United States entry from West Palm Beach, Florida, was able to shut out Korea 3-0. This year, Korea enjoying leads of 3-2 and 4-3, but unable to hold it. And Joe Levenson will try to bring it home. He's been on since the 2nd inning. And keep in mind, pitched 3 innings this morning as well, as he steered Lexington, Kentucky, past New Orleans, Louisiana. And here we go, 3 outs to get. Sun Jin-Oh.
It certainly can be a grueling World Series for these kids, but at this point, maybe the adrenaline will kick in. It's the last inning. We'll see what kind of effect that has on the pitcher right now, because sometimes if you can't control that excitement, you get a little wild. But I don't think they're thinking about being tired right now.
No, I'm with you, Cal. I mean, this team, remember, had a 6 a.m. wake-up call today for the 9 a.m. semifinal game. Going upstairs with some cheese. It's 1-2. Well, they played until 11 a.m. They went out for a quick lunch at the Golden Arches. And came on back with a couple hours to spare, ready to go and get that championship. And make no mistake, there are friendships that have been forged between these two teams. South Lexington and Korea. Down the line at third, that is fair. Just over the line, Ralph Muscat, the third base umpire, said so. And as the ball rattles around out there, thoughts of 3 bases, but instead it'll be 2 for Hyun Jin-Oh.
Yeah. You always have hope in the game of baseball, and for the Korean team, they want to get their first runner on. And that was ball right down the line. Looked like it got, I don't know if he touched it before it got to the bag, but it looked like from my angle it might have just barely went over the corner of the bag. Fair ball.
You got third on a bunt. You got third on a bunt.
Young Ho showing no sign of the bunt quite yet.
Well, he represents a tying run. He could use the bunt for the base hit to get on, and maybe create an inning with and a little momentum.
That pitch scrapes the corner. Yeah, the two Chos, no relation. Young Ho Cho, Han Wook Cho. The double play combination. We've seen them both drop down some bunts in this series for base hits. That one squirts over the corner, and Levenson makes it a 1-2 count, looking for the first out here in the 6th inning.
I know many times I've been in that situation where you have a lead and you just want to get that first out. If you're on defense or you're on the mound, when you get that first out, you feel a little bit better. And conversely, if you're on the offensive side, you want to try to keep the pressure on and get that first guy on base and make them a little bit tighter.
And now coming back, it's 68 miles an hour. That's the best fastball we've seen from Levenson. And he is pitching into a 4th inning of work in this game.
Well, I can certainly understand why this is the hardest fastball we've seen. He probably humped back, reached back for all he had, and the adrenaline and the excitement allowed him to throw the ball a little bit faster. But that was a perfect pitch for a 2-strike fastball.
A little dribbler, stabbed at first. Levenson to the bag. And he quickly checks the runner, who is now at third. 2 outs and 1 left before South Lexington, Kentucky will celebrate a championship here in Vincennes.
Well, I was gonna say there probably was a deep relief when he got the first out, and didn't take long to get the second. So they're standing right on one out away from a championship.
And this Korean team with 2 home runs, 13 stolen bases for the tournament. Their big home run hitter is on deck. That's Jang. Right now it's the number 9 hitter due up, Young-Sol Park. And we'll see if he actually comes up and hits, or if they will substitute here. They may.
Well, that brings back that interesting point about placing him as the leadoff hitter. It's the job of the 9th hitter now to get on base and give their best hitter a chance to have the game in his hands. And by being the leadoff hitter, it might give him one more at bat that otherwise he wouldn't have if he was hitting 3rd or 4th.
The pinch hitter will be Daeun Ri. And he checks, he takes a fastball low. And on appeal, they'll say he went. It's 0-1. What a day for these kids from South Lexington. They had to win to get in this afternoon. Korea got to play last night. They're well rested. Lexington, because of the wet weather yesterday and the lateness of the hour, their semifinal pushed into this morning. They will remember August 26, 2001 for a while. And Cal, I think, as much as Taylor Hatfield got him into this game, it'll be Joe Levenson that gets him through the finale, if indeed they hang on. He came on right as you joined us back in the 2nd inning. He's been pitching ever since.
Yeah, I happened to see him come on and put out the fire, and there was some momentum for the Korean team.
Play at the plate to end it. How about that?
Oh!
The United States is the champion. South Lexington, Kentucky, by a final of 6-4. And Cal, you saw the littlest man on the field, young Mr. Tyler Polley, the first to scramble out there and thump the big guys around on the back. It was he who worked the walk and created the chaos on the bases, the big play of the game to break it open in the 5th inning.
Absolutely. I'm just taking in the whole celebration. The excitement generated by a win or by the World Series. Everybody's just enjoying it. In this last play, you don't represent the tying run yet, but it seemed like it was going to be a play that he would easily score. But they executed the catcher came back, picked the ball up cleanly off the backstop, gave a good, nice throw to the pitcher covering, and there's the final out.
And he spikes it in the back of the end zone, too. How appropriate that it ended in the arms of your star of the game, Joe Levenson.
In 1935, Foxwood Farm started with one horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred, the truck a Chevy Suburban. Today they have a few more horses, but there's still only one truck, Chevy Suburban. With an available 8.1-liter Vortec engine, it's capable of towing up to 6 tons, making it the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
It's free!
It's free!
It's free! It's free!
It's free!
What part of free don't you understand?
Hi, I'm here to see the house.
Oh, great.
Oh, a nice house. I'll take it.
You'll take it? You don't want to look around?
No. But your asking price, it's a little low, so I'd like to double it.
Really?
Yes, and I brought cash, if that's all right.
Can I offer you a cup of coffee?
Oh, no, I brought my own. Oh, and I brought some for you, too.
If selling your home were this easy,
Lemon Square?
You wouldn't need Century 21. Real estate for the real world. Learn more about our customized marketing system at century21.com.
The United States has beaten Korea in the championship.
NASCAR Victory Lane, from the pole position to the winner's circle. A full recap of all the day's action. NASCAR Victory Lane, tonight at 9 on Fox Sports Net.
When the topic of discussion turns to great motorcycle racers, it shouldn't. Round 9 for the 2001 season in Pro Honda Oil 600 Super Sport brings us to Pikes Peak International Raceway in Fountain, Colorado. We're awful glad you could come along for the ride. Hello, everybody. I'm Brian Drever. My broadcast partner is Super Sport champion and Daytona winner David Sadowski. Ski, we started off the season talking about Anthony Gobert and then Eric Bostrom, but now all of a sudden with 2 wins in a row, Miguel Duhamel jumps back into the picture. And frankly, his chances for a 6th title in this class look pretty good.
He's a master at these late-season charges for championship titles. You saw his credentials at the top of the show. This guy knows how to win 600 Supersport races. But each part of the season, when we come to Pikes Peak International Raceway, Miguel Duhamel, he has trouble. He finished 13th here last year with no known mechanical problems. So this track really presents a challenge to the Canadian.
Well, the problems continued for Miguel here, and the Rattlesnakes here in the mountains bit him one more time today in practice. He had to get off.
Yeah, out in the morning practice session, just heading out into the first left-hander. It's a real long corner. There's some sealer strips down in there. It's really not known whether Miguel hit the sealer or whether he was just on a cold tire. Regardless, he high-sided off the machine and took a good pounce into the pavement. The bike continued on down the racetrack and rested over in the gravel pit. So Miguel is going to have to start on his backup bike today, which he has no practice on. But he always has trouble at Pikes Peak. It may be a blessing. Get on the backup bike and all of a sudden, all of his problems are solved.
Well, he starts from row 2. We want to know how he feels about his chances here at Pikes Peak this year, never mind the past. He's with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Greg White.
This racetrack demands the best of both machine and rider. Got to push it to the limit every lap, including practice. Miguel Duhamel threw away his F4i today. Game day. Miguel, what happened in the crash?
Just trying to get up to speed and trying to work up to that speed, of course. And going through turn 1, I was looking back just to gauge how much time I could make on the John Hopkins was on. And I noticed he made some time, so I said, well, I got to, work on that. But the problem was that the bike was going a little wide, and I was pulling on it, and I think I hit that seam. There's a crack out there. And being first practice out, there might be a little water in that or something. The bike completely stepped out and swung me off the bike. And knowing that the wall over there is not covered with nothing, and didn't want to do any heroics, I was already off the bike anyway. So I got off the bike. My foot got caught between the foot peg and the chain derailleur, but yanked that out. And I'm really pleased and happy to be safe. My Alpine Stars leather did a good job, and my Choi helmet also. Obviously all the security aspect, and just feel sad for the boys because now they're trashing away really hard, and the CBR F4i too. And I was looking at my bike going down the straight. I'm like, oh, don't hit the wall. The thing didn't have a scratch on it. It could have just slow sided and it would have been fine. But I'm just happy I'm fine. Machinery we can fix a lot easier than the body, so hopefully we'll be able to bounce back and still get a podium out of this.
Yeah, how does that backup bike going to be for this race?
Should be good. John really takes good notes, and he puts the bikes together really tight, and I think that I shouldn't see a big difference between the two bikes, and definitely will not use that as any excuse. I got to go out there and when I put ourselves in this situation, and it's time for myself to just get a good start and get out there and battle with the guys.
Well, thanks, Miguel. Good luck today.
Thanks. I'll take that.
Points leader Eric Bostrom has what could be construed a comfortable lead if it was over anyone but Miguel Duhamel with 3 races to go in the season. A few more points over Anthony Gobert, who was strong early on, and then since his crash at Loudon has struggled a little bit to maintain his standings in the points. But Eric Bostrom, since losing the championship so narrowly last year, seems to have been on a mission all season long, and that's not going to change.
Now, Curtis Roberts really taught him how to be a champion, even though he was the runner-up last year. He knows how to protect this lead, and he's comfortable running out front. He's putting the pressure on the other guys to beat Eric Bostrom.
Eric Bostrom is, in fact, pretty comfortable with the way things sit right now, and he doesn't really worry that much about who's behind him in the championship because he is the guy that they're all chasing. Now, we did talk to him before this race began.
Yeah, the championships really seems to be coming down to Miguel and I. I thought that, for the most part, things have been going our way. We've been on the box just about every race except Daytona. And I know that we're strong going into this place and Willow Springs, of course. So I think that, we're going to be tough to beat, but all the same, Miguel, great champion, and we're going to have to stay strong.
Ski, we always reserve a little time before we get started with the race for breaking news. And I guess the biggest headline, the return of the 20 bike and Aaron Yates.
Double A-Ron's back here at Pikes Peak. He's got to go 29 laps, though, around this racetrack. It's going to be hard for him. He's still battling back from that terrible fall at Laguna Seca, another crash at VIR. The guy's beat and battered. But as everybody's playing the championship game up front, watch for the 20 bike to come bulldozing through, probably with Jamie Hacking alongside of him. But my pick for the day here has got to be Curtis Roberts. Little redemption from the fall here last year, but he's due for a win. He's been scrutinized for aggressive riding. This is the racetrack that awards aggressive riders. Look for Curtis Roberts to win this one.
All right, Curtis crashed out a year ago. Jamie Hacking won that very same race. Hey, stick around. 600 Super Sport Racing at Pikes Peak International. You know it's going to be good. We'll be right back.
Win 2 AMA championships in a single year. Like Curtis Roberts. You're cocky. Win 15 championships in 14 years. You're Honda.
This is Silverado Heavy Duty. Available with the new Duramax diesel. The most powerful diesel you can get in a pickup. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
Freedom is alive! It's here, brothers and sisters, a place where you can be free to ride your machines. Speed Vision!
Monday nights at 8 Eastern, 9 Pacific, comparison shop with the experts on Motor Trend TV. Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern, 8 Pacific, grip the throttle with Bike Week. Every week on Speed Vision.
It's time to enter the light! Feel the power of speed.
The following is a special presentation of Speed Vision on Fox Sports Net.
The Pro Honda Oil 600 Super Sport Series on Speed Vision, brought to you by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. By Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Cycle World, America's leading motorcycle magazine. Welcome back to the track at the foothill of the mountains, and we're going to take a quick look at the layout here at PPIR. 1.33 miles with 6 turns officially, and it looks pretty straightforward from just about anywhere except from the seat of a bike. Past winners here include Miguel Duhamel in the inaugural year, but we're going to take a look at the racetrack the way you want to. Ski, take us for a lap.
This onboard lap courtesy of Miguel Duhamel up the front straightaway, just over 150 miles an hour into turn 1. AMA has got a curbing there that makes the riders go from the far right side of the racetrack in, takes away the inside. Stutter bumps in turn 1. Extremely hard on the left side of the tire here. As the tire spins, you take it out to the wall, grab top gear, straighten up the motorcycle as best you can for hard braking and 4 downshifts into turn 3. A very flat, late apex left-hander. Finish off the turn here with the rear wheel and big throttle application back up into 3rd gear. Another quick downshift back into 2nd and hard braking, trailing all the way into 4. Very flat right-hander. First time you're on the right side of the tires, both sides of the motorcycle not really getting the same tire temperature up to the S's at turn 5. Heading up into turn 6, set up wide, get on the throttle as early as possible. Leaning your body and shoulder for everything it's worth up the front straightaway. Big transitional bump here. It'll get it upset the rear tire and get it spinning. And there you have a lap at the 1.3-mile Pikes Peak International Raceway.
Well, Ski, not only that, but we had a look with Eric Bostrom right in his face. Where are we? Pick it up again.
Into turn 1, 150 miles an hour. Eric's just setting the chassis here and getting on the throttle. Big transitional bump there in the middle of the turn. I want you to watch Eric Bostrom's posture here and how far he uses his head to look up the racetrack. Where you look is where you're going to go. Into turn 3, hard on the brakes, the front end chattering.